Hello and welcome to my unboxing. This is my first unboxing. Matter of fact, this is my first electric bike. Never ridden one, actually never seen one. But today is going to be a little bit different. I think you'll enjoy it because you're going to get a real life reaction from me. I literally have seen nothing but the box so far. It was just delivered as you saw. So what I want to do is kind of go through the setup, show you the tools that I have. I'm doing it here in my home because it's July and I live in Florida. And as you can see, it's rather hot in the garage. So instead of this being a CPR video, it'll be an unboxing with a little bit cooler temperatures. So what I do when I make large purchases, and again, large purchases are generally over $500, is I do my research. And I did my research on YouTube mostly, figuring out a couple of things, narrowing down what kind of bike do I want. So it really boiled down to two things. One is the style of bike that I want and the type of riding I'm going to be doing, and also the cost. Because you can, let's face it, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on bikes. I wanted to find a company that is in the U.S. This happens to be out of California, but they probably manufacture it. It says made in China on the box. So I thought the price range that I wanted to spend was approximately $1,500 to $2,000. I thought that was a good range. I'll get my money's worth out of it. So I decided to look at bikes around that price range. What I decided on was the Aventon or Aventon, whatever they're calling themselves. I hear it both ways. Adventure. Aventure is A-V-E-N-T-U-R-E. They left the D out, I guess. Aventon Aventure. But it's they're a large 4-inch fat tire bike. It comes in 3 frame sizes. This particular one for my height, anything from 5'11" to 6'4", where I fall into. I went with the large. The color I got was the fire black. So today I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to show you the tools that I have. I brought some extra tools. I believe the bike does come with tools already and for the right sizes, but I have extra tools just in case. Why I like this particular company, I actually used their customer service before, right after I ordered the bike. And I realized that they gave a first responder discount. So I called them up and they wanted me to reorder. But by that time, things were running out. They were cranking these things out as fast as they were coming in. So they did honor it for me. So that saved me about $95, which ended up being the total price of $1,800. But today we're just going to do the unboxing and let you know what my thoughts are. And we'll go from there. So let's get started. Okay, I got my tools. The box looks in pretty good shape. I'm not going to make you sit through every single cut and tie and all that other stuff, so there will be times I'll be speeding up the camera. It looks very well packed. I've seen other videos where they basically engulf it in plaster and you have to almost chisel it out with just the amount of stuff they have, but you can always tell a good package by the good quality of the styrofoam that's here. I'm going to go over the boxes here. And you do not want to throw anything out in the box that you may need. So again, styrofoam. We're going to save those for later. In the event of a return, you probably want to have everything ready, available in case you need it. Okay. One thing you don't want to do is puncture anything or scratch anything while you're taking it out, so just be very careful. This tire was wrapped around the frame to keep it steady. And another thing I suggest is do not touch the rotor because any grease on that will affect its performance. Now, personal preference, I am not going to put the fenders on. These tires are nice and thick. They are designed to go from 5 psi to 30 psi. Probably going to go somewhere in the middle around 20. So I'm going to set this aside. And that's one of the only few things that we actually need to attach. This actually has an app that goes with it. I already downloaded it and it's just waiting to pair with the bike. So I'm going to pull this bike out with one hand. I don't suggest, if you have a bad back or anything like that, to do this, but I just want to get it set up, get the tire on, and get it leaned up at least so it won't fall down. So let's try that. Alright, through the magic of editing, you missed the bike falling over while I went to put the box away, but that's okay. Here are all the accessories in the two boxes. The first one came with the charger, which is right here. The second one came with some reflectors. You got your pedals, and you got your tools. Okay, so essentially you're going to have three things to assemble. You're going to have the tire, you're going to have the handlebars, and you're going to have the seat to put on. So I'm just going to finish unwrapping all the styrofoam on the outside, and then the first thing we want to put on is the tire, and we want to do that to keep the bike stable and put the kickstand up, and we can put the rest of the stuff on. So through the magic of speeding up the camera, let's do it. Okay, I got the bike box out of the way. Got this thing unwrapped. I'm going to leave these on just until I put the handlebars on. But I got to tell you, just in looking at the quality of this bike, and this bike's obviously under a lot of light, the matte black is absolutely spectacular. One of the reasons I did choose this bike was the fact that the battery is laid in here, and your controller is also in here, so it's not being exposed to the elements or to possible crashes. Another reason I chose this is I was always familiar, if you ever own Schwinn, you'll see Shimano over everything. Shimano derailleurs have about 11 levels, and I'm sure the top pro Shimano level costs more than the bike itself. However, this gives you a Serra, which I think is the third level. It's not the basic Torino or the second one, but I think it's good quality for, like I said, my purpose is just cruising, getting some exercise. And what's nice about it is, let's say you travel 30, 40 miles away and you realize, oh crap, I'm too tired to get back. You just put it in auto mode. It's like autopilot, just drive you home. It's labeled as a class 2, but it'll go up to, I've seen videos where they got up to 31 miles an hour. So, and that's on level ground. So I think the overall quality looks really good. If it drives as good as it looks, I think we have a winner here. As you can see, you're going to pull off this piece right here on the outside cover. The key there was taking out the bolts that are holding them on, and the washer, putting on that on the outside, and putting the trim or the fork here between there, and also putting it on the other side. So we're going to tighten these up, and I think they're torqued to a certain spec. But not sure what that is, but we'll make it to my specs. So I believe we got a 15 millimeter adjustment here. Okay, so there's a little plastic cap, and there's a piece of plastic here. You're going to remove this top screw here. You're going to take this rubber piece off. You don't want to lose that. There. You're going to take off that piece with the wrench. Now, here's the fun part. You want to get the handlebars on here. I'm going to zoom back a little bit, just so you know. Try to keep the bike as steady as you can here. Going to lay this right on here. Just make sure you don't bunch up the wires. Make sure that these are loose. And drop that down as far as it goes. Plan B, put it right side up. You see, men don't follow instructions. They don't pull out the instructions. That's the problem. You know what? That looks a lot better. We're going to Take a look at these handlebars for the first time. When you're locking this, one, you want to make sure it's tight enough. Don't over tighten. And two, you want to do top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, so you don't make it go uneven. Again, fits in there like a glove. Piece here, put it right back on. So it looks like there's no screw there at all, which is nice. And you want to make sure it's straight. Bottom and top. Pedals are fairly easy. They're both marked left and right. You just want to make sure when you're tightening each side that you tighten it towards the front of the bike. Make sure you put a liberal amount of grease on at the end so it tightens firmly. Repeat on the left side and make sure you tighten both pedals firmly with the tools enclosed. Okay. And we're going to assemble the seat now, which is really easy. I already put the reflector on there. It's supposed to go up to your hip, so we're going to adjust that in a little bit, but generally it just locks down. Just make sure it's straight. Very difficult to turn, so that's good. Line it up. So the assembly is pretty much done. I powered it up. It came with 47% battery. A couple things to note is I did tighten up the bolts in the front tire. When I went to do the wheel test spin, it was rubbing a little on the disc, so one of the wonderful channels on YouTube told me to loosen up the brake, the caliper, and squeeze the brake, and then tighten it back up, and that'll recenter it. Now it's free-flowing nicely. Just some final thoughts of the bike overall. Assembly was fairly easy. I tell you, I've been riding this bike a couple of days and I got real addicted. This bike is the best compromise between having fun out there on the trails and some serious exercise. There was some derailleur adjustments needed. However, watching a couple of YouTube videos actually just made a couple of adjustments and it works fine. The app works fantastic. The overall quality is terrific. I highly recommend this bike or any e-bike that fits within your budget. The company has been very cooperative and very responsive. They answer my emails within a day and they've been a pleasure to deal with. So hopefully the bike doesn't have any issues down the road, but it looks like the quality of the parts are really good. I did notice the brakes were not Bengal brakes but Zoom brakes. Don't know if that's any difference in quality. Obviously they're not super high-end, but they do work fine. I did do a break-in with the brakes. They do need to be broken in. I did watch a YouTube video for that. So if you have any questions or concerns or comments, please put it in, and I love to hear from you. And get out there and start biking. Thanks a lot.